Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the Kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. What's up, fight fans? Today we are joined by Rainn Guerrero. She was the main event at XKO May 7th, Texas Live. She earned herself a first-round submission win, a rear naked choke over Rainn Guerrero. Rainn, thank you for coming on the show. Again, sorry everyone for the delay. We had some personal things going on with our crew. Nevertheless, let's keep the hype alive. How are you feeling after the fight thus far? And what's your game plan moving forward from here?
I feel good. I feel good after that fight. That was really the fight for me to make a statement and kind of just put everything that I have been working on for so long together. And I did just that. So I feel pretty good. Moving forward, though, not gonna lie, having a performance like that, it's been hard to lock in another fight. We've been we're trying to set up a title fight for XKO for July 30th. Could not get an opponent locked in. So they actually ended up scrapping that card because the UFC was coming to Dallas, I think that same day, or they're in Texas or something. So they actually scrapped that whole card. We don't have a date yet, so we're just here training. Nothing really lined up yet. We're just trying to stay ready for basically whatever. Any card that's coming in August or September, we're trying to get on. So
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it would be too difficult to find someone that would want to fight for the title, right? Is it because of you? I mean, you were also main event, so you're probably bringing main events with you in the future.
Man, according to the matchmaker, they asked every girl with a winning record and everyone, and if they had like a 500 record, then they at least had to have like, a amount of fights, like 10 fights or whatever. And so they asked every girl like that had a record like that, and they all said no. So
they said no to a title fight, probably main event.
Yes, they were asking girls who had 10 plus fights, and they still were saying no. So I don't know. I think once the hype dies down a little bit and a month or two passes and stuff like that, I think it'll be easier. But I think just coming off a win like that and then immediately asking someone, "Hey, do you want to fight this girl?"
Oh wow, well, that's crazy. I'm still like my mind's kind of blown that's I mean, obviously it's a tough freaking fight, and you were there to fight. I mean, Brill came to fight in that one, and you met her head on. What kind of mindset do you have to put yourself to, really go in the cage and get the job done? Are you the kind of person that it's like do or die, this is war? Or are you the kind of person that tries to keep that competitive mentality of, I need to be cool, calm, collected, and I don't need to get overly emotional in either way?
Yeah, I try to be number two, and it just doesn't work out that way. I come in number way the first one. With this one though, she did piss me off before, with the weight stuff. So basically, we had agreed to meet at 1:30, and the night before weigh-ins, she calls. We're like 20 hours out from weigh-ins. Her coaches call my team and say that they're at 135. They're not going anymore. She stopped sweating, supposedly. She didn't stop sweating. Whatever.
Those last few pounds are hard, dude.
Yeah. Oh, but I know, but I know she could have did it. So 20 hours before, she's pulling the plug at 35. And so we're like, okay, we gave her about like 5 different compromises. We asked her to meet at 32. We asked her to meet at 33 for $100 per pound. Then we added try to do that with a weight restriction of 10 pounds the next day. We gave her like all these different options, and she said no to everything. And she right there at the end, well, we ended up going to sleep with no conclusion, right? So I'm going to sleep on weight, not even know if I'm going to fight tomorrow. The next day I wake up and she says she's not going to fight because her thing was she was going to give me her whole fight purse, her whole show money for 135 and no weight restrictions the next day. So because she was giving me her whole fight purse, she felt like she didn't need no weight restrictions and it needed to be on her terms. So that's what really made me mad. Like, how are you going to miss weight and then start calling the shots the next day? And if we don't comply to you, there's no fight. So that really, like, that just pissed me. So
Yeah, and this is all after you've cut weight,
Yes,
after you got to that point. And like I said, those last few pounds are hard, and
they
it
are.
takes a lot out of you to
Mhm.
eat that, to have to take that the brunt of the weight cut. And she didn't have to really do that, that last little bit where you have to
Yeah,
freaking kill yourself to get there.
exactly. And like my whole thing is, because I've missed weight too. Right before this, I came in 2 pounds heavy. And so like I understand like it happens, especially if that's the first time you've gone that low. Like I get it, like it happens. But my whole thing was like you're quitting 20 hours out, you
Yeah.
know. Take a little sip, go to sleep, wake up and cut in the morning because I had to do it. When I missed weight, I was literally in a sauna suit with the heater full blast, spitting in a cup all the way to weigh-ins.
Oh
And
god.
as soon as I got to the hotel, I took the sauna suit off, I scraped myself off and went in and away. Like I tried to the very last minute.
We're
So
not going to
like
have any videos come out of you like crying in the bathtub or anything, right? It's not that hard for 135.
no, not for 35, but like I said, you just got to try to the very end. So quitting 20 hours out and then put in all those stipulations, like if, we got to listen, we got to follow your rules. Now that's what really pissed me off. So by the time it was time for, and then she ended up coming in at 133 anyway. So we offered her 133 for $300, right? $100 per pound. And she was like, no, no, no. I'm gonna do 133 for 800. That's
Oh,
basically what
wow.
that's basically
So you got the extra 800 on that?
I got the
All
extra
right.
100.
Well, I guess I ended up not being so bad.
Yeah, no,
And you got the first round finish, so that's also a nice plus.
not gonna lie, she was heavy. When I was lifting her while picking her up, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna.
But luckily, you're absolutely shredded. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so there were actually a lot of finishes that night. I mean, most of them in the first round. Well, I
Yeah.
spent more time watching walkouts than I did watching the fights that night. It was crazy. Did that affect you in any way leading up to the fight? Did it pump you up? Did it feel like you, as the main event, had to top the rest of them?
No, I don't. I usually don't watch the card that I'm on. Um,
Mhm.
I usually don't watch it. I did watch the fight right before me, Nico's fight, because he was the co-main, so I was already staged in the back. But no, I usually don't watch the card that I'm on. But her walkout being so live, being so like she had like her own custom freaking chopped up walkout song, and like she had like the coolest moves, and like it was just like really she nailed her walkout. But like no, that didn't really make me feel like I had to go like compete with her and try to have like a jazzy walkout or nothing like that. I just am not even. And the commentators were saying like how mad I looked and stuff. I'm like, I wasn't mad. I was just like, it's fight time, But
Yeah, wartime. These are times
it,
of war.
yeah, it doesn't affect me really. Like, and like I said, I don't really watch the card, so I didn't even know what I had to like try to beat.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we were talking about weight cutting, I've seen some pictures, doing a little research on Instagram, that Instagram research.
Yeah.
You've lost a lot of weight on your journey. You almost look like an entirely different person. So is this like the chicken before the egg? Like, did you want to get in shape, so you started training and you fell in love with it? Or, did you like fighting and then just get shredded from
In the
training as a repercussion?
No, I basically I used to play softball growing up. Well, mostly in high school. I didn't play when I was a kid, but I had got a full ride scholarship my senior year, whatever, and I came out to Houston. I played at San Jack, whatever, where I lost my scholarship, right? And I failed like my college algebra class, whatever. So like from that, like me failing that and like not completing my degree and not like finishing the season and stuff, that was like one of like my biggest regrets, right? Like I just felt like I just failed and like I did all these years of hard work and I ended up failing. And so I spiraled into like a very deep like depression, and that's where I gained all the weight. I was like at 235. um so then that's when I kind of decided, all right, well, I need to get back in shape. I'm gonna lose weight, right? And I know I'm not the type to just go to Planet Fitness and just lose the weight. So my bright idea was to go across the street from my apartment and go to a jiu-jitsu school, right? But I didn't know what jiu-jitsu was. I just looked at, they had cardio kickboxing. So I was like, oh, there, let me go do that. I'm gonna get in shape, and then I'm gonna go walk on a UTSA team next season. And that was like my grand plan. Why I would start kickboxing to play softball, I don't know, but in my head, that
You
was
need
like,
cardio in.
yeah, gonna do. And so I walked in and I started that kickboxing class. And like I said, it's at a jiu-jitsu school. So then they peer pressured me to start jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
And then after a couple of weeks of that, a second class started after jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, hey, what is this? They're like, oh, it's MMA, you should stay. And then it just kind of started from there. So I did like a smoker at like 2-something pounds. I forget what it was, maybe like 210, I think. Then I did another smoker at 188. And then I got my first amateur fight for 170. But that fight fell through. The girl pulled out. And then they were like, okay, well, 5 weeks later, we got to fight for you at 55. So boom, that's where I had my first amateur fight, was 155. And then maybe a couple weeks after that, they're like, hey, we got a 145 fight for you, main event. That was my first main event, my second amateur fight. I was like, okay, cool. And then boom, I got a head kick knockout on that one. And then another promotion offered me a title for 135 and like 6 weeks after that.
Oh my gosh. So literally your fight career was setting you up for lower and lower weight classes.
Yeah.
We got you in for welterweight. All right, a little bit down the line, a realistic amount of time for you to cut this weight. We got another matchup for you this way.
I had like a whole year of just like chop, 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 chop. And then I stayed at 35 for a while, but that's how it started. It really was just, I was going to lose weight to play softball. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
That's so great. Well, might as well, get like a great workout in and learn to kill people with your bare hands. Like
I was thinking,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also not the type to go in there and count reps to myself. Like I'll get so bored doing it, I like to be told what to do. I like, competition, it helps drive you.
Now, like going to the regular gym by myself, like even now, like I prefer to have my boyfriend come with me because it's just different. Like it's just different. Someone can push you way harder than you can push yourself. And that's just like, that's why people do personal trainers and, all that stuff. So, and I knew that back then. So that was my thought process. But yeah, I'm not the type, even now, I'm not the type to go to the regular gym and just like knock it out. So
yeah, counting reps, not about it. So after a fight, after the weight cut, like what's that one like food or drink that you just gotta have? What's that little gluttonous indulgence that once you have the freedom to do so that you just gotta have?
after the fight, I really love pizza. Pizza and like cookies, chocolate chip cookies are like my like number ones. Those are like, yeah. Crawfish is probably like my favorite food, but I eat that during camp too. I just can't do it closer to the weight cut, right? Because of sodium. But that's like my favorite food, but I eat that during camp. And then after the fight, I love mimosas.
Mimosas.
Yeah, mimosas are my favorite. But like really
Pizzas,
like
mimosa, chocolate chip cookies, crawfish always.
yep, those are my things. But I really like mimosas without orange juice. Like I like other juice, not orange juice. So I like exotic mimosas.
Exotic mimosas. I haven't heard of that one. I'm gonna have to try some champagne with other juices, see what happens,
I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to put you on.
I really like pomegranate juice. I wonder how those two go together.
Oh, you're fine right now. Now I gotta find out.
I bet that would be good, yeah. So we have a saying here at Enter the Kumite, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. What are your thoughts on that? Do you view MMA as a sport, or do you maybe see it as something more than that?
No, I definitely agree with that statement. Yeah, I think that's where it separates a lot of people, because there's some people that go in there and look at it as competition, look at it as like a sport. Those types of people, what I've seen is that they don't have very many finishes. They got a lot of go to decisions a lot, right? It's just something about just having that dog in you, right? And like being able to pull it out. And so for me, no, it's more than that. I guess that's why, like, I go out there and start like screaming the way I do and stuff like that. I mean, I don't ever plan to do that. It just kind of like comes out. It just
The
happens.
primal roar.
Yeah, exactly. But no, for me, it's really like someone's in there trying to kill me, and like someone's going down. It's not gonna be me. So that's how I look at it, and it molds like my whole life. It molds what time I wake up. With me running miles in the morning. What I put in my mouth, everything I eat. Just being on top of your water. So like every 30 minutes, you're chugging water. So it just molds everything you do. So I think I think viewing fights is more than a sport, helps with all the discipline that you got to live, for me at least. Because if it was just a sport, if it was like softball and stuff, you got off seasons, you got like your schedule, and you just got to do this day and this day. But like with fighting, it's your whole life. So no, definitely view it as more than a sport.
And when it comes to a fight, like at the end of the day, there's nobody you can blame. You can't blame anybody else but yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a team sport, right? I mean, it kind of is. You
You
have your
have your preparation for war,
yeah, like,
your advisors.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Basically, and man, sometimes it's hard to hear them in the fight. Like when I watch film from my fight and I hear my corners, I'm like, man, I never heard that. I would have loved to have heard you tell me that. And the fight before this, I know my coach was yelling high crotch for like 30 times. And I finally tried it, like, and in my head, it was the first time I heard it. I was like, oh, it was the first time, and he'd been yelling it so much longer. I was sorry.
Yeah. Are you the kind of fighter that takes the coach's instructions and tries to apply it? When the coach yells something, they just freaking do it. They do it exactly how the coach said to do it. Are you one of those people, or are you one of the people that has to like find your way into the instructions that your coach puts out?
I feel like with grappling and wrestling, especially against the cage, I'm more so hear it and do it. With striking, I feel like I'm the other way. I feel like I have to find what they're telling me to do. I have to find the opening. So if they call a combo, I'll probably throw like 2 jabs before a feint and then throw it. You know what I mean? Instead of just like, so yeah, I think I'm a little both, but with grappling more so I can hear it and execute a little better.
In the right arm. Got it. What's next? Okay. I got you. So which martial arts was it that initially like really got the cogs turning in there, that tickled your fancy?
It was kickboxing. Like that's where I started in jujitsu. When I started doing it, I didn't really like it. I was big, and putting the gi on is very, very hard, especially in the Texas heat, and the gym don't have the best AC, and it feels like you're in a trash bag. And so it was and then I'm a little claustrophobic, like a little bit. So
Yeah.
with that, yeah, it just really wasn't a fun experience for me when I first put the gags on and stuff, and being choked with their own freaking thing. And so I didn't really like it, but I continued to do it because I knew you have to be a good MMA fighter. So it was really kickboxing, but eventually I did start falling in love with jiu-jitsu and grappling itself. And I feel like at this point now in my career, I'm a little bit better at it, but I tend to strike more anyway. But now, so it's a weird how it turned out. But no, it was kickboxing that got me started, and then jiu-jitsu grew on me eventually.
I got you. And now you would consider yourself a mixed martial artist?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Because it just depends on my opponent, which game plan I'm gonna come in. I've had game plans where my whole plan was to strike with them, and then it just didn't happen that way, and vice versa. So I do view myself as a very well-rounded fighter.
Yeah, nice. What would you say are your strengths in a fight?
Um, I feel like my strength is my strength. I feel like I'm pretty strong, and I hit pretty hard. And I think my pace and my cardio probably one of the biggest assets that I have. the girls that I fought and now that my card has been better, my last 2 fights, I felt like I broke them with my pace, and they just weren't going to be able to keep it going. So my last fight with Natalia, we went to the third round, but I felt once I got her to the ground in that third round, right before I finished her, I felt like her body, I felt her fatiguing and just withering away. And so I just felt like it was just the pace that finally got to her in the third round. So that's, now that I understand that, now it's kind of one of my, I try to weaponize that, which is my plan with this girl, Abril. I was going to wrestle her and make her hold my weight like I was doing. And then the second round, going to come out and box with her when she was tired. We just didn't make it there. But
yeah. And she broke sooner than I thought she would. I don't know.
And I watched that film and I'm like, man, I should have had her at that 30-second mark when I put her on. When I slammed her and then I hitting her and then I grabbed her neck. I should have just went around, took her back and just got her to the ground. But I just gave her the split second to turn around. But I'm like, man, like that's gonna haunt me forever, because I really feel like I should have finished her in 30 seconds. But
oh man,
we'll get it.
Still didn't let it hit that second round though. So
yeah, I had an interview where she said that she didn't see the fight going out of the second round. So I thought that was pretty funny, pretty ironic that you're right.
oh, in her interview, yeah. Oh, that's funny. I believe you're in a relationship with King Millie,
Yes,
correct?
King Millie. Yep, that's my boo.
Yeah. So, what's his plans going forward? Are you guys going to be like a fighting power couple? Is he going to be taking a step back to kind of be there for you and help prepare you for your fights? Like, what's the game plan for the two of y'all?
For Millie right now, he's gonna take a step back from fighting and do more so the coach role, which he's been 50-50 this whole time. Mm-hmm. And so now with the way my career is going and stuff, we've talked about it, and he's gonna take a step back from fighting at least for a year and just focus on coaching with me and some of our other teammates that he has under him. For right now, that's basically where he's at. I think he'll probably get one more, maybe, one or two, maybe next year, something like that. But for right now, yeah, he's going to take a step back and really focus on coaching. Which, I mean, I think that's the better option for him right now. I think he's an amazing coach, very creative. He comes up with drills that you wouldn't even think of or fathom. And you're like, oh, like, his mind, the way it works is it's very creative and it's very unorthodox and it's very unique. And so to take that and implement it into coaching and like my mind and my style, it's really been working for us. And so that's basically the step we're going to take for the next year. But, knowing him, I'm sure there'll be a fight that pops up, someone drops out and they need a short notice replacement in 2 weeks. And
so is there anything you would like to say to your fans out there tuning in? And is like, what would you say that, someone who doesn't know you, what could they expect from watching one of your fights?
Well, I mean, all of my fights, like I want to make a statement and I want to fight, I want to change my opponent's perspective on fighting, and I want them to be different. I want them to be different when they walk out of the cage than when they walked in. And so just expect a dogfight every time. I'm very aggressive, and I've tried in my fights to have like that feel out, come touch gloves and feel them out and read them and stuff like that. And I'm not that mature. I'm going to work on it, but just expect a high pace, high intensity dogfight.
Now you're a brawler. People love that. That's what a lot of people tune in for, is someone who isn't going to spend 4.5 minutes fainting, just trying to get someone to open up, Yeah,
it's a process. Because like I said, I'm a very extreme side of the spectrum, and then you got the other people, like you have like the Rose Namajunas and the Carla fight, this last one, you know, and you have fights like
name.
it is a balance, and I'm really trying to. I have a teammate, Shaquem Richardson. He told me, he's like, man, one thing I'll say is just like relax in there, like just relax. And I'm like, but her face is right there. And he's like, you just feel like, you know, they're gonna make a mistake. They're gonna give you your shots, like just relax. And then he went out and got his TKO finish, his last fight too. So, and you can just see like, you know, when me and Abril came out, you can see like my hands are just like, I was just, and like when Shaquem comes out, he's just, you know, and it's the experience that he has, you know. And so I really admire that, and I really want to try to work on that, implement just like relaxing, you know, just chill out. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
get into your flow state, you know.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
force a flow state. You just
Yeah,
gotta let it happen.
exactly. But it's different, right? It's different when you're the main event and you have this, and they put you in the middle, because a lot of promotions don't do that, right? Where they call you in the middle before you fight. So a lot of times you just have your announcement, and then they're like, all right, you ready? You ready? Go. But then there's like, you know, for main events and stuff in XKO, like they'll bring you to the middle. And so something about just like staring at your opponent that close to you, and y'all just like exchanging that energy flow between each other. Like it's something about that it's like, how can you be relaxed at a war time?
Yeah, this is
So
war. We can't relax in war. We can relax after and get pizza and chocolate chip cookies.
I know, working on it though. I'm gonna definitely work on that, and just being, you know, try to be cool, calm, and collective. And it's like Millie says, is when you have like a flamethrower, you know, you could just be like and just everything, or you could just be like you know, just be like very precise on where you shoot your fire, and be you know, just better appear with it, instead of just like everyone burn.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, work with Millie, you'll get a lot of those.
So do you have any shout outs or plugins that you wanna get in here?
Yes, I do. Let me shout out to my love sponsors. All these guys right here have been super patient with me and all the pullouts and stuff. We have Coat 45 has been my sponsor from like day one. They're a bar and a baseball field in San Antonio. So they've like sponsored my first amateur fight. Valkyrie B is my friend's Sierra Seifert. She's also a fighter. It's her clothing company, which is this shirt that I'm wearing, by the way. Very soft on the skin. This is my favorite shirt. Center of Wellness. They do like IVs and just different, like all sorts of different health stuff. They're in the Dallas area and also San Antonio. Then we have Monica Flores, my girl. She's a realtor. Hit her up for all your realtor needs. JD Associates, my tax guy. He's also been my sponsor from like my first amateur fight. He's based out of San Antonio, but really just hit him up anywhere. And SG is Sam Gordon. It's my coworker, and he gave me $50 to put this put his initial on my shirt. oh, and then also my snowflake here is for Josh Snow. It's my teammate, Snow Grappling Academy. If you follow Josh Snow on Instagram, please do. He's my wrestling coach. I brought him in for this camp. Which is really where I got all the cool moves I did. It was working with him for this camp. So Snow shows, shout out to him. And then one more that's not on my shirt, they were on my shorts, is Teacap Daiquiris. Teacap Daiquiris got their own flavor of daiquiri for me. It's called the Bully. It's a purple. It's very delicious, and they're in San Antonio, and they got a location here in Houston too. So hit them up. The flavor is very good. Trust me. We sat there and like had like a whole scientific like chemistry class. We were like trying out different stuff. So like we came up with the perfect concoction. So go order the Bully from Teacap Daiquiris.
Oh man, if I lived closer to San Antonio or Houston, I would literally go try that.
Man, every now, man, hit me up. We'll go together, because I need to go get one too.
Heck yeah. I mean, I gotta say the best like sponsorship like promo that I've seen is, yeah, I gave you $50, put this on my shirt. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, heck yeah. Thank you so much, Rainn, for coming on. Um, so we're trying to get on a fight in, when was it? You said September or?
Yeah, we're looking at, there's a card in San Antonio, 8/21 for Fury. We're trying hard to get on that. That's my hometown. That's where I was born in Fort Worth, raised in San Antonio, living in Houston now. So um, fighting in any one of those areas is like, I can have people out there. So we're trying to get on that card. Then I think there's an Invicta card coming soon in fall. I don't know the exact date on that, but basically we're trying to get on any Invicta, LFA, or Fury cards coming. And then also still waiting for XKO to get their dates. So we're looking at August, September. That's realistic time for me to make weight. And really just whoever can come up with the opponent. But that fall. So
Yeah, give me
hopefully.
an opponent, and I would like a main event because that feels nice.
Yeah, I prefer to fight early on the card so I can just relax and watch the rest of the card. But my last couple fights have been, very late on the card. So now I'm getting used to fighting at night.
Yeah.
That's the other thing about it. But yeah, give me a main
I'm
event.
becoming more and more important as I go. I don't know. It just keeps happening. Well, thank you so much. I'm definitely looking forward to it. If you get a fight scheduled, don't be afraid to hit us up, or I follow you on Instagram. Maybe we'll hit you up to get you back on the show if that'd be something you're interested in.
Yeah, for sure. Most def.
Thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful day, Rainn.
Thanks for having me. See you later.